And welcome to the latest episode of From the Rubble, which is my post-apocalyptic modded Minecraft Let's Play. Now, a quick recap. We are building a base. We need a lot of concrete. And I've been making a lot of concrete, and it's a pain in the butt. It is a royal pain in the butt. So I decided that we should at least partially automate it, and to that end, the first step is power. I mean, there's a lot of steps along the way, but power is the first step. And so since I have the create mod, and I can create basically free power with my windmill, I figure we go that route, because up to this point I've been cutting down a lot of these giant spruce trees and converting it into charcoal, which is a bunch of extra steps, takes a lot of extra time, and except for I could automate it, but except for cutting down the tree, that's a pain in the butt, right, to automate. So we're just going to see if we can skip the whole carbon-based fuel system and go off of the windmill. Now, that working off the windmill is not automatic. The system I'm using for creating the concrete is using a pulverizer from the thermal series, plus we're creating concrete that is actually from one of the other mods, and so it's kind of a mess, and none of those are natively achievable using the windmills from create. So I need to plant a new tree, but other than that, I'm going to create a second windmill, and then we're going to use an alternator from the Builder's Additions mod, and that is going to let me create that alternator that will generate RF energy that we can then use to start powering various thermal expansion devices, including my pulverizer. And with all that said, there's an intermediary step where to make the alternator, I'm going to have to probably make mechanical crafters, right? That's from the create mod. And that's going to require some equipment and expertise that we don't currently have yet. So this is a long, drawn-out project that is kind of like fundamental to what we're trying to do here. And of course, I'm going to need plenty of energy and experience and a bunch of other stuff. Speaking of experience, one of the things I realized when I was looking at my guy last time is that I should probably put that in my hand when I'm farming so that the experience will repair my pick. The thing I was looking at is my armor is not very well enchanted, right? So it was a very difficult set of armor to create, and when I created it at the time, we didn't have our enchantment infuser set up. Now we have the enchantment infuser. Now it's not the advanced version, so I can't go back and edit after the fact. So when I enchant something, I need to do it all at once or not at all. So what I kind of have in mind is, since I can't go back and use the enchantment infuser to backfill the missing enchantments and improve the ones that are there, what I can do is I can add new enchantments to an anvil, right? So what I'm thinking I might want to do, and you can see I don't have much enchantments on there anyway, is I think I can use the enchantment infuser to go ahead and build up books that I could then combine with the item on an anvil to bring it up to full enchantment, right? That's kind of a roundabout way of doing things, but I think it'll work. And but even with that said, as you can see, but even with that said, as you can see, the enchantments I have on my equipment now are minimal. So it's pretty much like gonna have to do the full enchantments. And with the regular enchantment infuser, you're talking if it was a straight shot, and I don't know if I can do that with books, but it's 30 to 50 experience levels per item, right, to get all the enchantments on there. Now, if I'm lucky, I can take a book and put all those enchantments on one book. I don't know if I can. I think books have a limit, which means then I'll have to kind of do the thing where put some enchantments on one book and more enchantments on another book, and then use the books in conjunction with an anvil to apply the enchantments onto the equipment. So each one of those transactions on the anvil are going to use a keg of experience points, more than it would be with the enchantment infuser. So I'm not quite sure how this is going to shake out. We'll find out in a second here. So if I grab books, let's just try this. If I grab a book, can I add a whole stack of books? Nope. Okay, one book at a time. And nothing. So, okay, take everything I just said and scrap it. Okay, that falling back to Plan B. So, Plan B means I'll have to create a separate set of gear and enchant it from scratch with the enchantment infuser, but I'll have to enchant it all at once, which goes back to the 30 to 50 levels per item, which is a lot of levels. So it's going to be enchant a piece and then do stuff for a while until I have enough experience and enchant another piece. Though, another way to approach this, maybe I don't have to create a whole second set. Maybe what I can do, once I have enough levels, I can disenchant a piece and then reapply enchantments from scratch that way. And yeah, maybe that's the way to go. Because like I said, this was an expensive set of armor to craft. But quite frankly, that's more than I want to get into. I was hoping the book thing would work so that I could just do that real quick. But doing it the other way, I'll give it a miss. Today I really want to get that windmill done. And, when we said I needed andesite, what I did was I jumped in my helio chopper and I went flying around looking for obvious veins of andesite out in the wild on the surface. And I found plenty of andesite, but it was onesies, twosies, mostly in the crag, which has it mixed in with like regular stone and cobblestone and gravel, and it's a mess. So I came back thinking the way I'm going to have to do this, I'm going to have to go caving. But and that's where the episode ended. But the thing is I've had about a week or two to think about that, and I think I don't need to go caving per se. I've got a big underground mining operation here, so I'm pretty sure that all we have to do is go down to where I've been digging out the central core, and we will apparently have a lot of wool, so that's hopefully enough. So we'll go to where we're digging out the central core, and hopefully we'll find some andesite there. But in the meanwhile, I need to strip these logs. Oh boy! Now stripping's useful. I mean, you get the bark, right, and you can use the bark for all sorts of stuff, which makes it worthwhile, but it doesn't necessarily make it fun. I will say though, I mentioned this back in the past. When I first started this mechanic, right, I didn't realize that you could just automatically, just hold the button down and it would go to town. And so I was manually, swapping items and oh my gosh, it was a mess. It was, I get cramps in my fingers from doing a big stack like that, but Don't have to worry about it now. Oh boy. So I'm going to need to prepare to have a bunch of andesite. And it's right down here. Right? This is where we've been expanding. And there you go. There's a bunch of andesite. I mean, I didn't think it would be this easy, but I didn't remember that we had a bunch of andesite just sitting here. So we'll get it. Now, if it's been a while since we've been working down here, there is a bunch of water nearby, right? Underground water. And I really don't want to tap into that and have to deal with that. So I'm going to try to be selective as to where I grab this stuff. But I mean, I'm going to have to grab it all here anyway, and I will have to deal with the water at some point. Oh yeah, this is the kobold encampment that is below our base. So it looks like, except for Angus up there, the kobolds will be our initial population of survivors. See, there's some of that water. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot more water. I like the kobolds. They don't really do anything. You can't really trade them. And if you accidentally hit them, they do get pretty rambunctious. But that's kind of true for anybody. Did that fall all the way down? Maybe. Let's take a look. Yep. So this is the kobold complex, and they don't have, it's kind of like the crag, it's a mix of everything. So no obvious seams of andesite. Oh, that bit. Got a bunch of this. I try, I don't want to move the torches, so they're there for a reason. Water. In a lot of ways, the placement of the space was it was kind of to paraphrase Dickens, it was the best of places, it was the worst of places, right? The placement on an island in the middle of a very hostile world was awesome, right? And it kind of reminds me of my vintage story world. But on the other hand, the placement of this thing on an island in the middle, it was a pain in the butt, because we've had to fill in the lake using fill. A lot of gravel and stuff, especially, and then there's big underwater underground recesses full of water. It's been a hassle. It's been a royal hassle. So we're working through that. And it's a hassle. But I mean, part of the fun in this for me is kind of approaching it as an engineer, right? So there's a project, we're trying to get it done, and there's sometimes things happen that, okay, now this is a hurdle that we have to overcome to get the project done, and how are we going to approach it? And I'm not saying I want that all the time, every day, every minute, but it is fun to run into those and tackle them one by one. And we're going to need a longer term solution. So the solution I have for ores and stuff, this works out well in the other Minecraft ones, but with the thermal series, I have, and some of the other mods, I have so many different ores and stuff to keep track of that the system's kind of breaking down. So we need to get to a point where we can actually set up proper storage, and again, that hinges off of building up our central core from the bottom up to the storage level, and we've been working on that. But the problem is, this is kind of the full loop, right? to work on that, I need a lot of concrete. That's when I realize I need to probably do approach this whole concrete generation thing a little different. And that's when the automation comes in. But typical in the way things work, whatever I decide I need to do, I'll come up with a time estimate. And it's kind of the opposite of Mr. Scott, right? He'll tell you 3 weeks, but he'll get it done in 2 days. I think it'll take 2 days and winds up taking 3 weeks. So there's that. I am no Mr. Scott. Can't speak with Scottish accent. And I only have a few red shirts, and I make sure that I stay at home when I wear those because, you know, bad things ensue when you run out in public in a red shirt. At least that's how it appears to work in Star Trek. So there you go. So let's see. It is dark outside. Let's sleep. We did have a spider spawn inside the base, or at least it was in the base. Maybe it spawned outside and wandered in the base. So it is possible there might be bad guys up here. And oh yeah, I need glue. I need glue if I'm gonna build a windmill. I need my glue. Whew, I almost glue it there. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to stick it to you, but you know, yeah. And you know, it's not just about creating a second windmill. So something else I have to do is the first windmill, when we built it, we didn't have enough material to build a full strength windmill. So what I need to do is actually expand the first windmill and build the second one from scratch. So I already did the math, and for the main windmill, I need to make 64 sails. I need this. This will give me 128 sails, right? So okay, that gives me for my brand new windmill from start to finish full strength. Now, for the existing windmill, I need to create 32 sails, right? So 32 is a little different here. Hold on, but yeah, that's right, it's 2, so I only need to make 16, and it'll give me 2 for each of the 16. That'll give me my 32 sails. This is a mess. Okay. So there we go. So 128 for the new windmill, 32 for the old windmill. And part of what I'm after with expanding on the old windmill, one, more power. As Tim the Toolman Taylor would say, more power. But aside from more power, by default, these windmills spin faster with the more sails they have. And I need the more power, but it will also increase. Oops. Okay. Better hop to it. I messed up my hops. Move that further out. Okay. It still bleeds in a little bit. With the added power capacity of the first windmill, it spins faster too. And that's important because without having to do any extra speed manipulations, we should get enough speed that our washing system that we built will actually be able to extend to the fourth depot. So instead of washing 3 stacks of concrete powder at a time, we could wash 4 stacks at a time. 25% increase. So you can see the glue oozing around it, because that was where we defined the glue already. But this out here isn't glued. Let's go ahead and add these. Basically, we took one off, and now we'll put on the one we took off and 8 extras, and that works. That works exactly. So this is the new sail size, and then we want to glue it, right? So just glue it to it already exists. There we go. And now it's all glued together. Now, you know what? I can just jump. There we go. That was the whole point in putting the water down in the first place. And I have to go to all this trouble because in this world I don't yet have access to bamboo. Haven't found any. I don't know if there is any. You know, it's a ruined urban landscape, so we're gonna have to really look around to find a jungle biome. What I think is more likely is we'll probably find bamboo in a chest someplace. But we haven't been doing a lot of exploring, which means I haven't seen a lot of chests, which means my chances for bamboo have been pretty minimal. Okay. That's not right. No, don't make me fall for this. Okay, thank you. Oh, I've been playing Hightail recently, and we're used to being able to jump up 2 blocks. It's pretty awesome. Though, it's awesome from a player point of view, but if you stop and think about it, it means that from a standing start, I'm able to jump 2 meters. And there are people who can do that. Just not most people. Suck up the water. Somebody's out there with a bad case of phlegm. More shovels. There we go. Here's our washing operation. So what we want to do is we want to block this water here, because if this water connects with the water I'm going to drop for the bucket as my safety net, which might mean I actually need to drop it for the safety net, then even when I remove this water, the water will continue to flow out of this washing device. I don't want that. I mean, in the end, it doesn't really matter what I do. It's all a wash. Anyway. So, there. Now, let's glue this bad boy. Connect it. There we go. Oh boy. I would, you know, the thing is, I've pointed out on many occasions, I'm old, right? And I'm at an age where, like, some of the people I've worked with over the years, or gone to school with, you know, they're about my age, and they are retired now. It's actually... Oh, I'm missing one. I'm missing one in the back. Yep, that one. And, you know, I'm kind of jealous. I would like to retire. I have all sorts of retirement plans. You know what I just did? I forgot. I picked this up. See, it's bleeding. So, here. Anyway, I have all sorts of retirement plans. I originally thought that when I retired, my friend Eric would retire. We've been best friends since 1980, which for some folks that puts it somewhere between the Mesozoic and Jurassic periods. But yeah, except he passed, and it was a lesson. Man, that guy makes a lot of noise. It was a lesson for me not to take things for granted. Anyway, so I would still like to retire, but and I would still do pretty much the same type of things I would have done with my friend, which is to play a lot of online stuff. When my wife retires, she has plans that we'll go traveling and stuff, and that's fine. But that's not the whole day every day, right? And that would leave a lot of time for game time. And really, there we go. Look at that, strong breeze. So now we have a windmill that's full strength. Uh-oh. I forgot to glue a piece. Anyway, yep, windmill maximum strength. So let me go up here and glue this thing. I really always thought that I'd have some time to really play computer games, and what these my video series are basically projects that I kind of always thought would make good retirement activities, right? Long-term projects that I could just build on piece by piece, because is that connecting to, yeah, that connects to the existing one. The way I always looked at it, I was always interested in model building, diorama building, and if you ever seen or heard of the Miniature Wonderland in Hamburg, Germany, that's the stuff I really loved. Always did. There's problems with that. It requires a phenomenal amount of space, right? And is this now blowing all the way to the fourth one? Yes, it is. Okay. And my wife would kill me if I tried to do something like that in any type of scale that would be worthwhile to me. And it's physical stuff, so it's expensive, right? Physical stuff is expensive. So, oops, that's not what I want. I want it to go all the way down. There we go. So, let me pay attention to what I'm doing here. Let's just do it this way. So these are long-term projects that I figure we'll just keep working on bit by bit. And, well, they certainly weren't impressive before now. I don't think they're really impressive yet, but as time goes on, they will become more so. And eventually, I think it's going to be very interesting, not just the destination, but the whole journey, how we got there. And if you're watching this and you keep watching this, then you'll be one of those to say, yeah, I was there all along. I saw it happen. I need to make some fence pieces. But, and this is, I think I talked about this, not in this series per se, but in one of the other series. I make the type of videos that I would want to watch, right? And I found some really great Let's Play creators over the past couple years, and almost all of them sooner or later peter out, just disappear, they give up. Now, I don't know what motivates them. A lot of times they just disappear and they don't say why, right? They're just not there anymore. But I think they're missing out on the whole point of Let's Play, which is, we want to see this thing grow. And I think the problem of Let's Play videos, especially if you're saying Let's Play and it's like an RPG, so there's a beginning, middle, and end. Okay, in those cases, you actually have pretty strong interest all the way through, right? Because it's a story, it's a journey, it has a known end. But in the case of what I call Let's Build series, which is like usually your Minecraft Let's Plays and stuff, unless they say that they're trying to do a speed run to get to the end or anything, it's just like they're going to build something and it's free form. And you run into the momentum hump, which is something I've described here. And the momentum hump, when I described it before, it was in relation to the creator, me, right? It's like, it's fun opening a new world for the first time. and you know, you're learning where everything is, what resources we have, making plans. That part's fun. And then you have this long dull period where none of that exists, and you got to start making it from scratch, right? And so there's not really anything to see, and you know, and so it's not particularly fun to play. And I don't think it's probably, is that the right height? I think so. It's probably not a lot of fun to watch, right? And so traditionally in your Let's Play videos, you start, your viewership's high, and then as you keep moving, it starts dropping. And then a lot of these people would quit making that series because viewership is down very low, but they're in the middle of that momentum hump, right? And I think I think the mistake they make is that they should just keep going for a long while, and then you get to the point where you get past the hump. You start to have a collection of builds, right, in the world, and they're doing stuff, and now it's starting to get interesting again. But if you quit before that, well, you know, it's kind of like, well, I hate making cakes. Making cakes is hard. They always fail. Well, they always fail because you take them out of the oven before they're done. That's right. So anyway, I think we're finally getting to a point where, at least I hope, that this is starting to become interesting for people. And I always figured it would take some time. Okay, let's glue. I was going to glue across, but there's nothing over there to glue yet, so I will just glue this fin, this sail, this vane, I guess is really what we would call it. Anyway. But I would like to take this opportunity as a call out to all of you who have been coming back. For those who comment, thank you very much. It tells me you're engaged. It gives me an idea what you're looking for, what you're not looking for, where I'm hitting, where I'm missing. And in the cases of games that I don't really know that much about, you guys give me some great tips and knowledge that really help me succeed in the game. For those of you who subscribe, that tells me that you bookmark me for some reason and that you're interested in what I'm doing. That's also good data. I truly appreciate that. And then, of course, my highest level of thanks goes to those of you who are channel members, because you've said, we really like what you're doing and we want to support you. And so they give me a few dollars every month to support this. And for the record, they're the ones who helped convince my wife that this isn't just some crazy excuse I have to, you know, waste time on the computer. So thank you. I mean, you know, they say money talks, and you know, those memberships have spoke volumes to my wife. So not necessarily volumes to the bank, but that's okay. I'm more than satisfied with where they're at. Anyway. Oops. Yep. The water carried it down stream a ways, but that's okay. We'll get it. Now, I'm using the Create mod, but this isn't the latest edition of the Create mod. The problem with the Create mod, the Create mod is a victim of its own success, right? The Create mod has so many additions, and even when a mod isn't a direct addition to the Create mod, it is, they oftentimes have interactions or integrations with the Create mod. And where this comes in is, last year the Create mod came up with a new version, and quite frankly I think it's a great version, but I'm not running it. And that drives me nuts. Hold on. So this is what I was trying to do the first time, is to go all the way over here and get this whole access, right? There we go. So now that whole mechanism is tied to the central core. And now we'll do this again and go up and get this vein, and then that's like more than halfway done. Anyway, the reason I bring all this up is that one of the mods I have that I love, that I refuse to not play with, is the Steam and Rails mod. And I've talked about why on multiple reasons, but the thing is while everybody else has updated their stuff to the latest version of the crate mod, the Steam and Rail guys haven't. Now, they haven't, right? I want to be clear on this, in that they are working on it. And if you go out there, there's all sorts of beta releases, right? But where possible, I like to work on a final release. And they, to their credit, they actually break their releases up to show you alphas, betas, and full release. And so they take their quality very seriously. I like to follow along with that. So while everything else should be upgradable, that one technically I guess is, but I'm not until it's a final release. So I've held off on all that, but we will get to it soon enough. I think the time's coming. The Steam and Rail guys look like they're about to make the final release soon, so that'll be a headache, but it'll be worth the headache, right? Because the crate mod's awesome, and the stuff they added with packaging and cardboard and stuff, I wouldn't call it game changing, but it's definitely worthwhile, right? Definitely worthwhile. So, and in the case of New Londinium and From the Rubble, it definitely fits in with the work that I'm doing on those two series. So, Gryphon Horse, not so much. But yeah. Okay. Now you have to be careful when you sit down these sails. In fact, you just need to be careful whenever you do anything with a windmill. You don't want to blow it. Yeah, it's true. It's true, because there's nothing worse than to get this thing all built and turn it on and find it doesn't work, because that will really take the wind out of your sails. Oh, I'm telling you. You knew the job was dangerous when you took it, or you knew these were going to happen. If you've been watching any of my videos, you know that's the risk you take. So, okay, so that one's finished. Now we just gotta glue it together. Oh boy. Whee! Okay. Almost there. One of my favorite lines from Star Wars. There's a great video that somebody took that guy, because even in Star Wars he was saying almost there for like forever, and then what they did is they took that video and they interspersed it like a bunch more times in, so even like it extends it basically, so even after the part where he normally would have died and wouldn't have been flying anymore, it still shows him saying almost there. And even to the point where Luke fires the shots and then the guy's like almost there, and then the Death Star explodes, right? Oh, I love that video so much. It ranks right up there with the No Man's Sky video that showed what was promised in the trailer they showed at the announcement, right? And it's playing to the full orchestral version of the theme to Jurassic Park. Can I glue from... No, I can't get that one spot. No, I can't quite reach it. So I'll have to do it from here and reach... Okay, anyway. So it shows the announcement video where everything's beautiful and elegant and very polished. And you've got this sweeping grand music from Jurassic Park. And then it immediately cuts over to like what it was like at release. And you've got this stumpy little weird animal walking around. It looks like a science experiment gone wrong. And the soundtrack has changed to, it's still Jurassic Park, but now it's somebody playing it on the accordion and playing it quite badly. And I'll have to see if I can find that one for you too. I love that video. Even my wife loves that video, and she didn't even know what No Man's Sky was, right? She got it, and it was intimate. It was intrinsically funny. Whee! Run over to this side. Okay, so the structure is all glued. Now we just need this fourth vane, and then we can turn it on. I probably should have gotten rid of the water first. I just got to go back up anyway, so... Okay. Whee! Okay, now let's pick up the water. Okay, now I think this is all put together. And look at that, the whole thing's moving and it's on. So now we have two full power, fully functioning windmills. So then the next step in this little adventure is to connect them. I generally like to have full energy networks, right? Everything's connected. Now, there are times where you might want to have a separate network, a dedicated network for a specific purpose. And that might happen. I'm not saying that I'm totally against them. I'm just saying as a general rule, I like to have all my power generation eggs in one basket. So let's go back over here. Squeak in between the vanes. Add my gearbox. Look at that. Now, we just connect this box to that box. Or this windmill to that windmill. Uh-oh. They're spinning in opposite directions. That sucks. Hold on, I don't need to kill that. What I need to move is this. So if I approach it from the other side, does that turn it? No, it doesn't matter how I turn this. It's always going to spin this way. So I need to take this one out and add a second gearbox. That will change the direction. So let's connect this. And let's go make that second gearbox. And then we'll be good to go. Never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. Okay. Yeah, I don't need to turn this one on its side. And there you go. So now I have two full-blown, fully functioning, full power windmills. They're connected. That should be enough to drive this thing. So now I need to the next step is going to have to make mechanical crafters, right? So that we can create the alternator. And brass. What do I need for brass? So I can do a zinc ingot with either copper ingots or copper powder. Or I can also use the mixer. I don't like making things with the mixer. The mixer is a power hog. Multi-servo press? Huh. So to make brass, that's just putting. There we go. So you can do it with the mixer. What are my other options? Multi-servo press. You can melt it into molds. This induction smelter, you can smelt things together, actually. That might be the way to go. So let's see. I need a blast furnace. I need some sand. I need some gears. I need a machine frame, which is what? And in-bar gears. Sand's easy. Redstone flux coil. So the machine frame, it's glass, it's iron, and it's a tin gear. And a tin gear is an iron nugget and 4 tin ingots. Okay, I think we can do that. Let's see if we can make this thing real fast. Gonna need a bunch of brass. Okay, so now we're on a quest. Now, if we have to, we can. We should have plenty of charcoal. We could use the charcoal to fuel this furnace. That's not a problem. Let's see. So tin, right? So blast furnace is easy enough. Okay. Just need a furnace, 3 smooth stone, and 5 iron ingots. So let's do that one. Iron, I need. I already have 3 ingots, so I just need to heat 2 real fast. Let's do that. And I need smooth stone. That's easy enough to do. Go on a regular furnace. And we'll just add 3 of these. And yes, I'll go ahead and use a piece of charcoal because when they're done, I'll just pop them back in. A piece of charcoal will cover 8 smelters, and 3 and 3 is 6. So we should have plenty of time without wasting too much fuel. Pop that back in. I don't need any more sand. And I don't need what else? Now oops. I do love the thermal series. It's complex. I think that if I ever go back to making mod deep dive videos, I think that might be one of the first series on the docket. If I do, I would need to finish the create series, because I figure there's 4 or 5 videos there, and I've only done one. I need glass. I guess I put the sand back too soon, and I need more iron and a tin gear, so I need tin. Tin's not an alloy, I don't think. I think tin's tin. Yeah, see? Tin's tin. So tin dust. Yeah, I don't need to separate. That's bronze, so they do have bronze. I was getting confused the other day between bronze and brass in this mod, and they do have bronze. But that's from the thermal series, not from Creator Vanilla or anything. Okay, so I think I do have 10. I have 8, so I need half of these. I don't know. That's not going to get us all the way. Here, just throw some coal in there, get it going. It's a little bit of a waste, but I'm kind of in a hurry here. Let's see. Now I need 4 glass. Whoa. And I'm going to need a nugget for that tin. Is it ready yet? It is. Give me 1, 2, 3, 4. Click on that. Make the gear. So I need iron and the glass. Ooh, the iron. That's a good point. Here, let me break this down a little bit. There's the glass. So it's just the iron that I'm waiting on. I need 2 sand, 2 invar gear, and the redstone. Invar gear. What do I need for invar? That's an alloy, if I remember correctly. 2 iron dust and 1 nickel dust for 3 invar. Okay. Iron dust. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to pulverize some iron, huh? Okay, and nickel. Oh shoot! Okay. Oh, hold on. I got nickel dust. I got iron dust for that matter. So I need 3 of these, and I need 6 of these. Okay, that should get me. Oh, why is this not working? I see. I need 2 iron. I need to break the iron out, right? Like this. There we go. There we go. Now I've got 9 of these. Let that go. Okay. So the redstone. Oh, that's easy enough. I got that. I got that. So we need gold and 2 redstone. Let's put that together. Okay, so now let's get this in bar going. I need 2 sand. I think that's all the pieces. I think we're all good. We just need to wait for the in bar and then put it all together. Do I have any in bar in here? No. We'll figure it out in a second. Here. Okay. Okay, so let's do the frame. And then we can piece the whole thing together. And there you go. Now we'll need to connect this to power, and unfortunately, I think that's we don't have really time for that. So I'm gonna put this in here for now. I don't have a better place for it. Put the glue away. The induction smelter is ready to go. Basically, we will connect it where we have the pulverizer. Shoot. So we did make good progress, but as usual, we didn't get anywhere as far as I would have hoped. The next step now is, we need to make some brass. And then after we make some brass, we're going to need to go to the nether to collect a bunch of quartz. And then that'll give us, with the brass and the quartz, we can make, with the quartz and the redstone, we'll be able to make rose quartz. With the brass, we'll be able to make mechanical crafters. We got lots of power from our windmills. That'll enable us to create the machinery that'll help us make the alternator, and then with that we'll be able to make the alternator itself, all to get to the point where we can draw power from that second windmill to function or to power our thermal series stuff. Man, what a mouthful, but it's good. This is no comments from the spectators, please. But actually, you can leave comments by all means, please do. And this has been a good episode, though. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. We're making solid progress. Still so much left to do. But in the meanwhile, I hope this finds you and yours in good health, good spirits, and perhaps just a touch of good fortune. Cheers.